Tiny Epic Dungeons is the latest in a long line of tiny epic games designed by Scott Almes. If you watch the channel, you may already know that I'm a huge Tiny Epic fan, so of course I jumped at the chance to check this out. The guys at Gamelyn sent me the prototype, but otherwise this video is unsponsored. So is it tiny? Is it epic? Spoiler alert, I think it is. This time around, tiny epic heroes will head deep into the mountains to ultimately defeat the boss who has been terrorizing the town. Along the way, they will encounter traps, goblins, and minions. The dungeon isn't without its perks though. Part of the journey is finding valuable weapons and spells left behind by those before you. So I've played this about half a dozen times now, and this little dungeon crawler is certainly epic. I'll be honest though, I have yet to get to the boss, but I've been close. This game is tough, and that's what I want in a co-op. It shouldn't be easy. I had the boss within my grasp so close, and it leaves me wanting to jump right back in. I'm not going to dive too deep into how to play the game. You can learn more about that over on the Kickstarter page, but there are a few things that I want to note. First off, there are a lot of ways to lose in this game, but only one way to win, and that's by defeating the boss. So how can you lose? Well, you get too many goblins out. There's only 4 spaces for goblins, so a 5th one comes out, and you're done. If you get lost in the dungeon, you have nowhere else to go, meaning that you've flipped tiles to the point where you've locked yourself in, and you can't get to the lair, you're done. If you find yourself with no health at the beginning of your turn and you're alone in a room with an enemy, game over. And last but not least, you're on the clock. Your torch can only last so long, and the darker it gets, the more trouble lies ahead for you. Goblins spawn, enemies attack without provocation as you move down the torch track. If you get to the end of the torch track, guess what? There are a ton of icons in this game, so you'll want to keep the reference card handy. So the gameplay relies heavily on dice rolling, but there's help. Your hero has 3 places to hold items, 2 hands and 1 torso slot, but can also hold up to 2 trinkets and 2 spells. All of these items provide benefits to your abilities and your attacks, giving you ample dice mitigation to help you along the way. Not to mention, you always have the base ability of spending 2 focus to tick your die up or down. Now, why would somebody want to tick the die down? Well, there are only 2 die faces that have a plus symbol in front of them, the 1 and the 2, and those can be added to a solid number die. So say you need to beat a 6, and you roll a 5 and a +2 and a 3, you can add that +2 to the 5 to make 7, and have a successful skill check. So final thoughts. I dig it. It's definitely going into my collection, and I cannot wait to see how the final product turns out. So if you want to get an idea of what to expect and how things are looking and unlocking during the campaign, I've left a link in the description below for you. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below as well, or head over to our Discord and we can chat there. Thanks for watching.
Congratulations, you got to the end of one of our videos. Now, if you want more practice, just click on the video over here. It's another video. You might not have seen it yet, so click on it. If you don't want to do that, at least click on the subscription button below. That always helps us. And if you want notifications, please ring that bell.